Hey trappers, Dale Billingsley here, Billingsley Brand Lures. So, I want to go over something with you today that I've been over, God only knows how many times. But apparently I haven't covered it well enough through my videos or through demos that I've gave across the country on this subject, and that is front foot and beaver and holding them alive, okay? So I'm going to go over it again with y'all just to reiterate some facts and maybe get through some, to some of y'all that haven't quite picked it up or haven't quite got it yet. So with that being said, we'll jump right into it here. Okay, my trap of choice is the number 3 Bridger coil spring for this method. And here's the reason why I use this trap. Okay, the biggest reason. It has what I call a tall jaw. The jaws on these, on the Bridgers, the number 3 Northwoods, the number 3 and 4 Herders, and the number 3 and 4 Montgomerys. Those are, and the number 4 Dukes, okay? They have what I call a tall jaw. And what that means is they set taller here, this way, than they do wider at the base plate, all right? So what that does, when you're using this method, and it's not my method, everybody calls it, my method, and it's not. This method is as old as time. It is old as when this country was first developed way back in the day when the mountain men went west. They didn't have drowning slide wires. They didn't have slide rods. They didn't have fiberglass rods. They had chain and they had traps, okay? So what they would do is set their traps, catch the beavers, and I'm sure the bulk of them were held alive, all right? This is absolutely nothing new. E.J. Daly did it. John Iron did it. Craig O'Gorman did it. Johnny Thorpe was big on it. It's nothing new, guys. This has been around for years, okay? So when you're using this trap, this style of a trap, what it does when you catch that beaver by the front foot, instead of putting the trap down here on the wrist joint, which as we all know is very nimble, very weak, it puts the trap above the joint. Okay, that's the only way you can make this system work. You have to get above that joint. The other reason I like this trap so well on the front foot of a beaver and not drowning them is because it's compact, all right? You guys that are still trying to use the TS-85s, the Bridger 8 or the Duke 850s, the MB-750s, the some of those bigger traps like that, the Bridger number 5s, you cannot use those traps and get away with this system on the front foot. Now, they're great on back feet. That's what they were designed for, all right? They were not designed to put on the front foot of a beaver. And the reason why is, number 1, they're a little bit lower profile jaw. So again, it puts it down there on that wrist joint where it's really nimble, really weak. And number 2, when that beaver gets up on the bank, and let's just say, maybe the bank wasn't as clear as what you thought it was. He hung up on something, all right? He got wrapped up around it, up here. When that beaver starts to roll and twist like they do, what that big trap does is it hangs up and it stops. It hangs up in the mud and in the dirt, and that trap stops. The problem with it is, though, the trap stops and the beaver doesn't. He continues to roll. When he rolls, he's going to break those front leg bones, those 2 leg bones, and that results in the ring off, okay? I hope that's making sense. Now, I tried last year for the first time the TS-85s. The TS-85 will work on a front foot if you run 8 to 10 pounds of pan tension. Then that puts that big trap plumb up here at his shoulder. Okay, and then you got him. Then you got something you can work with. But if you guys are running, and I've seen it on YouTube, some of you guys aren't running any pan tension whatsoever on any of your footholds, and then you're wondering why you're having toes and why you're catching, down low on the front foot and having ring offs and having problems. That's why. All right? And while we're on that subject of pan tension, for y'all that are running the number 5 double coils, okay, you know how that they've got the pan post sets like this. It's two ears that stick up, and then the pan has two ears that sit down over that, like that. When you go to tighten that nut and bolt to put pan tension on them, all you're going to do is collapse that, and you're still not going to have any pan tension. You've got to put a spacer in here in the pan post to take up that room. And what I did with mine was put a oversized nut on the bolt to take up that slack. You see what I'm saying? If you just try to tighten that bolt down, all you're doing is pinching that down, and you're not gaining a thing with pan tension. So put a spacer in there, and then that you can come up against it, and you'll gain pan tension that way. And I run at least 5 pounds, even on these, even on my number 3s. I run 5 pounds of pan tension, and that's not too much. I promise you, it is not too much pan tension. Okay, so there's that. That's the reason why I use the number 3s. And don't think you can get by cheap by going with a number 3 Duke, because you can't do it. Because again, of the low profile jaw. Puts that down there on that wrist joint instead of above it. You've got to get a trap that gets above that joint. Otherwise, it absolutely will not work for you. And just like these old number 3 and 4 double long springs. Guys, look at here. Base plate to base plate. Whoop, I'm below it there a little bit. You can physically see the difference in the height of the jaws. It will not work. You can see, there I am leveled up base plate to base plate. You can see with your own eyes the difference. Now I know that doesn't look like a lot, but believe me, it really is a lot of difference there. So I'm telling you about this all ahead of time because, well, just to be plain and simple, I kind of got called out on Facebook page the other day that I was full of crap. Well, that's fine. You can believe what you want. Anytime you want to come right on my line, I can sure enough show you that this method does work. So anyway, enough of the rant. I hope I got through to everybody what I was trying to. Guys, I sure appreciate you coming along with me. I appreciate every one of you tuning in and watching. One more thing before we go, though. I need to make a little update for y'all. Starting April 1st, I have to raise prices of my lures. The bait prices stay the same. But guys, with the cost of ingredients, the cost of bottles, shipping, everything just keeps going up, and I truly, honestly hate to have to raise the prices, but I got no choice. If I want to stay in business and survive in it, I have to. There's no way around it. So anyway, I just wanted to give you all a little update there, a little heads up that starting April 1st, I will be raising prices. Again, guys, I apologize. I hate to do it, but there's no way around it. So with that being said, guys, once again, I appreciate you tuning in and watching. I appreciate everything you've done for my lure and bait business. I appreciate everything you've done for this channel as well. If you haven't yet, I ask that you please hit that subscribe button for me and hit that notification bell, hit this thumbs up, and share this video. Share all these videos of mine if you would, please. It really does a lot for my channel. Once again, this is Dale Billingsley with another one. Signing out.